So, the definition of schloink in my mind, which I've learned today that schloink means a lot of different things. The way I think schloink means is basically stumbling your way through something with little success. And what is that but not life? Everyone stumbles through life one step at a time, and things can go wrong, but things can go so good. It helps us enjoy the good times. The bad times, just kind of happen. So what better than to talk schloinking through life with friends? So, Ryan, what did you think about the word schloink before I even said it to you?
What did you think before you even knew the word? Tell me.
Exactly. No.
Well, first, I didn't think that there was an idiot in the world that would come up with the name Schloink. But do you want like what I thought schloinking was, or a schloink was?
Yeah, when I said schloink to you,
Allowed it.
what was your first thought on what you thought it meant?
First thing that came to mind was a pigtailed dick. Like, like a
Like how a duck's penis is. Yeah, understood.
Wow,
duck's
look
penises are-
at that
Ducks
man.
have corkscrew dicks.
He's
Yep.
got a big schloink between his legs. What the fuck?
Ladies say I got the best schloink in town. Until
It's
I
a
go
town of
schloinking.
3 people.
I don't even know the logistics of how that would even work.
I don't want to think about it. It sounds painful.
Yeah, I don't think.
Same with
I
like
would either.
if I said a fusa, would you know what I'm talking about?
No. What is
It's a breed of cat in
Find
Madagascar.
someone with a lisp, see if they can say schloink. I don't think someone with a lisp can say schloink.
Boink?
So
You say
that's an
boink?
issue.
Boink.
I'm trying to do wildlife trivia over here, Ryan. Can you fuck off?
Oh,
Thank you.
sorry.
Yeah, okay. So there's a breed of cat in Madagascar called the Fusa. If you've ever seen this show, Madagascar, the first movie, the cat things that are everywhere. They also have corkscrew penises.
Is that what King Julian is?
He's a lemur. It's the things that eat the lemurs.
Oh,
That's why King Julian sounds the way he does. He's got a corkscrew penis.
Anyways, Ryan, how do I know you? How did you end up on this amazing show?
I have known you since high school. About 5. No, it's been about 6 years now. I ended up on this show because I came over one day and you're like, "Hey, you want to be on a show called Shloinking with a Friend?" And I said, "Sure, why not? That sounds great. I don't know what Shloinking is, but I'll check it out."
Yeah, and we used to have our own show that is now dead
don't speak
to the
of it.
universe.
Dead. Killed with fire.
I don't know what
Failed.
you're talking about.
Yeah,
Never
yeah.
heard of it.
Castrated.
It is the show that shall not be named. We've become the new Unis Honest.
The Voldemort show.
Y'all remember when Unis Honest was a thing? Did you guys even watch that?
I didn't know Unis Honest was a thing until years after it already happened.
Dude, I hear that a lot.
I only knew Unis Honest was a thing because Taylor told me about it when it was happening, and that was before I actually listened to Distractable or watched Markiplier.
Mm-hmm.
And now, years later, I'm like, fuck, I should have watched Unis Honest because that was actually a really cool idea that Markiplier and Ethan did.
The
It fucking
Unis
sucked, and you can't
Honest.
find it anywhere.
It was so good. I know.
Well, it
we
was deleted. That was the point. And so talking
Yeah.
about its legacy is supposed to be like symbolic of life and how every person lives and dies, and all they have left is the legacy
Yeah.
behind it.
Yeah, I
and
love
things
the
they left
message
behind
behind
and
it. I think
impact on
it's
people.
awesome.
So
Yeah.
even like us talking about it now just goes along with the message of Unis Honest a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, and then they
Just-
refused to talk about it. I think they did a couple videos after the fact, but they're like, "No, we just gotta let."
When
sit."
Markiplier went onto Logan Paul's podcast, they went kind of in depth into the symbolism
they
behind
did,
it.
yeah, Markiplier did, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I figured we could just get straight into this, and we're just gonna see where this goes. We're gonna hang out, we're gonna have a good time, and we're just gonna let it flow. I think so. I wasn't gonna start with this question. I was thinking I was gonna make it an end question, but Hiram insisted that I write down. How do
Okay.
you think it would feel getting hit by a bus? This is very
It's
in
not what I
depth.
said.
I
It's not what I
mean,
said.
It doesn't feel
hey,
great.
Let me rephrase the question, okay? Because Taylor is not eloquent enough
I'm sorry.
for these questions sometimes. That's okay. It's okay. We still love you, Taylor. How do you feel about the idea of getting hit by a bus?
There you go. The idea.
The idea of getting hit by a bus,
Yes, tell me
very,
about it.
very unpleasant. I actually almost did get hit by a bus one time.
I know I was driving. Um, what if the
You were driving it?
yes, even though I live in a different state, I was definitely driving that bus. At the point where I missed. I planned it out for weeks and I missed. Damn it. Um,
Did you just admit to premeditated murder?
I never got caught.
He knew my routine, my morning commute to
He's
work
been
every
watching
single
you.
day.
He's been watching you from across the street. The house that you thought was abandoned. He's been in the top, just watching out the window.
Yes.
Okay.
If the bus driver is super, super hot, does that change how
you
you
can
feel
hit-
about getting hit by a bus?
If this bus driver is super hot, I would not mind getting hit. I would hope that I would
hit you
get
with
hit in a
bus.
way. Well, I would hope that I'd get hit in a way. Is it okay? First of all, is it a transit bus or is it a school bus? And if it's a school bus, is it a flat end,
Let's
front
go
end?
flat front end school bus.
Perfect. So what I would love is if I wouldn't mind getting hit by a bus if it meant that if there was a fine ass lady driving it and then I would get launched into the front end of the bus through the window and then I could sit there and go, either you can give me your number or I can sue you.
Is that what would happen if I hit you with a bus?
So
No, I would
so
go ahead.
So it's all just
Actually, I would hit you and then back it up and then go again.
it's all just a
but-
ploy to get a girl's number. It's what you. so your staging
Instead of
is.
insurance fraud, we're doing number fraud.
Number fraud.
Yeah, we're collecting numbers because we're gonna threaten to ruin them financially. That's how we're doing this now.
Isn't that called blackmailing?
No, I don't think so. Mm-mm.
No.
Yes, it is.
Fun fact, I thought blackmailing was just a black mailman for years.
You're right. That is what it is.
There's a Family Guy sketch about that. It's really funny.
Sure,
They go like, it goes blackmail. Oh, thank you, Cleveland. And Cleveland's just a mailman. It's a really funny, just random bit.
I completely forgot about Cleveland in that show.
I think most people did.
So Ryan, for as long as I've known you, you have been a hockey man. You love playing hockey. You've been playing hockey since you were a kid, since as long as I've known you. I was just curious as to what kind of enjoyment do you get from playing hockey as opposed to other sports? And how many other sports have you played?
So
And are
I
you
grew up-
secretly Canadian?
I fucking wish.
It is
I
true
wish I
that
was
all
secretly
hockey
Canadian.
players are a little Canadian. That is just
There's a
fact.
little bit of Canadian inside all of us.
Yeah.
I played
Yeah.
I played hockey growing up for 15 years. I played baseball for 3 years and I played soccer for 2 years, but mostly it's been hockey my whole life. As far as enjoyment, I don't know how to put it into words. Other than everyone has their own passion that they kind of follow when they're younger. And that was just one of the hobbies that I got into when I was a kid. Like 3 days into me getting brought from the hospital of me being born, my brother put me in front of a hockey net and started shooting pucks on me. I was less than a week old. That's
That
how I got
explains a
started.
lot.
So you were
Yeah.
beat until you liked it.
Similar to the bus, yeah.
I dated a girl like that once.
Hey, I did too.
So so like what a part do you like? Like is it the, skiing on the ice? Is it getting thrashed against a wall? Is it the thrill of just making a goal?
Not just say skiing on ice.
Skating.
Skating.
Skate.
Thank you.
Skating's
I couldn't
different.
think of the word. I was originally going to say sliding like a dumbass, so I figured skiing.
That would have been better than skiing, I think.
Sliding on ice with
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you
and-
just love holding sticks. I think sticks are pretty
That's
cool.
fair.
You know, holding stick, there's something satisfying of holding a long wooden stick in your hand.
Yeah, I
It's
can't-
just exciting. It gets the
Especially
blood going. Every
this,
time I get it, I'm just like, oh baby, yeah.
the line between being serious and joking has blurred for me. I think there's
That's
some truth in
no,
this
yeah,
statement.
everyone loves holding a stick. Especially the hockey stick is the perfect stick you hope to find while you're camping. Because it can be used as a walking stick, it looks like a gun, it looks like a sword, it looks like all the things. It is such a useful, versatile shape of stick.
You know, if you really think about it, the stick is probably the first like best tool humanity ever found and invented.
specifically the hockey
Next
stick
to
or
the
like
rock.
a stick.
Because if you get a rock in a
You
stick,
mean it's just the stick in general.
Oh,
yeah.
The first
Anyways.
murder weapon was a rock, though, not a stick.
What
well, that was a slingshot, right?
what was the first stick
Or
even used for?
probably poking,
'Cause
burning.
I think it was something your mom was using, actually.
It was
That was weak. Boo, boo. That one sucks. Anyways,
Well,
Hiram, do
she's
you have
just
any
settled.
questions? Are we?
Any questions for Ryan?
Yeah, because are we
yeah, I
gonna?
do have a question, actually.
Okay.
Where were you April 5th at 8 p.m.?
April 5th of 24 or 23 or 22 or 21 or 20 or 19 or
24.
24.
24.
April
Mhm.
5th at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
I think he's playing dumb with you, Hiram.
I think he is, too. I think he knows what he
April
did.
Where was I April 5th?
Yeah, where were you?
I think I was either at my grandmother's on April 5th at 8 p.m. or I was
Mm.
in the county jail. It was one of those two.
I feel
I'm
like I
just kidding.
stumbled into something
I'm
that's showing.
kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay. I was like, in county?
I was
Really?
I was at the county jail with my grandmother.
Why?
Anyways, we got to move on to the next question. I
Why?
I would like to ask you, Ryan. Um, every single morning you wake up and you live your life. What gets you up in the morning? What motivates you to get through your days?
It's me up every morning. Normally it's my alarm. But if I had to get up, what gets me motivated every single
Yeah.
day? Probably getting up and seeing my dog every single morning, how happy she is, and knowing that I have a job that I can go to and bring home food for her. And I'm kidding. There's nothing that motivates me. I sleep all the time. I'm constantly questioning if I want to wake up or not. But
You know, I think that there actually is. Is it weird that people in our generation, like our age group, I feel like these days not many of us like have much of anything to go off of. Is that
Well,
weird to say?
actually, there's a reason for this. In my study of economics and marketing, I've discovered why this is.
Okay,
If
why?
you're curious,
Yeah.
it is okay. So
Oh,
when you're
okay,
doing,
wait. How political is this gonna get?
it's not.
Okay.
It's purely like input output.
Okay.
It's not. It can get super political, but this is just the basics.
Okay.
It's purely based off of ROI, return on investment, right?
Yeah.
So let's take not Taylor's grandpa. I'll say my grandpa. Um, like my grandpa, he worked very hard, like physically, but he was a farmer and he sold insurance on the side.
Mhm.
But he would work every day, and he had a couple dozen acres of land.
Could you say he
a
was a
nice
state
house.
farmer?
Actually, he did work for State Farm. Yeah, that fair.
That was a really bad joke. I'm
ran
sorry.
cattle and worked for State Farm.
Okay.
He worked a ton, but his return he got on it was 50, 60 head of cattle, a couple dozen acres of land, a nice
that's a,
house.
that's a lot of cattle, and that's a lot of money too.
Yeah, that's like, I think that's
Holy shit.
equivalent to, if he still had it now, it would be worth like probably, I want to say $5 million total between the cattle and the land. Of course, he sold a lot of it in the 90s.
Yeah.
Or all of it, actually. But he put in X amount of work and got, I would say, an exponential amount of return. versus people our age will put in X amount of work. Let's say I wanted to go farm cattle. How long do you think it would take me to save up enough to buy land and 50 head of cattle? He could do it in about 2 years. It would take me until I was about 63
Oh my god.
because it has to go with like inflation and stuff. But that's a big reason why people our age aren't motivated is because we can bust our ass doing exactly what our parents did and our grandparents and their parents, and we would still barely make it living in an apartment
Mm-hmm.
that costs $1,800 a month to rent.
Yeah.
That's why no one wants to get out of bed, is because everything feels impossible.
Feels like it's not worth
Because
it.
yeah, the way we were taught
Yeah.
to approach things with like even what our parents taught us or grandparents and the public school doesn't work anymore. It is an outdated system.
It's my whole life. I grew up with my parents always, especially my grandmother, telling me that working hard and being committed to something, you will get somewhere in life.
Hmm.
And since we've been out of high school, I'm a little bit older than you guys. I've been out of high school a little bit longer than you, but at
Yeah.
least since I've been out of high school, and well, really since we both been out of high school, it seems like both the return on what we work, like you said, has dropped exponentially,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
it's the I've put dedication and into the work I've done with the jobs I've done, and I've barely seen any return on it. And
Mm-hmm.
after doing that for a while, like you said, you just get to a point to where it's not really worth working 40 hours a week. If at this point, actually more than 40 hours a week, if you want to be able to afford anything, and to constantly be beaten down that you can't afford. How much is gas now? How much is food
Uh,
in average?
where I saw it here, it was like a little bit over 350 a gallon.
Oh yeah.
And then
350.
yeah,
We're
Okay.
here
to
it's like
the
440.
store to get groceries is going to cost you anywhere from like 70, 80 to $200 just
Hmm.
for like a week's worth of food. And it's not even good high quality food. That's just so you have something to eat.
Mm-hmm.
It's not
Yeah.
healthy stuff.
Yeah.
The the we used to go to the grocery store growing up, and my dad would be able to spend probably $200 a week for food for three kids playing sports constantly. And that would last us a week and a half to 2 weeks, depending on if we're out of town. Now, $200 will get you maybe a week worth of food for two people, if that.
Maybe if you're lucky. That would be stretching it though.
So you said gas is 350 where you live?
I think so. I need to look.
Here, here it's between 430 and 509. And when I was down in Cali about a month ago, it was
Yeah, California's nuts.
560, and in some places 650.
It's fucked up.
Yeah, I just looked
Hmm.
at my calendar. It's starting to look a lot like 1776. Sorry, continue.
I guess keeping along with doom and gloom, my
Yes,
next
how depressed
question
are you?
for you is if you were stuck experiencing white room torture, what do you think you would hallucinate first?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
never
very
thought
good.
of it.
First thing I would hallucinate. I don't know. I've never really hallucinated.
Well,
I
you would if you were in a
probably
white room for like a week.
If you're doing white room
I,
torture, you are hallucinating
I
in
feel
like
like
it's a matter of hours. It's not even a
I would
week,
be down to do a white
maybe
room
minutes.
torture.
I feel like I'd start seeing faces in the walls.
Yeah,
I'd probably see donut shapes because I love donuts.
donuts
So
are
I
good.
would like chocolate donuts on the walls, and then you guys would come in and see me licking the walls and be like, "This donut's really good.
Okay,
Thanks for getting it."
okay, this just made me think of another question. Have you guys ever experienced sleep paralysis? Sleep paralysis, and if so, do you guys see like shadow people or like sleep paralysis demons?
I have seen shadow people, but never while I was trying to sleep.
I have never experienced sleep paralysis, thank God. And I've never seen shadow people, but I've heard weird shit happen around my house.
Okay, so Harm, if you don't mind me asking,
Hmm.
like do they interact with you? Like, okay, so the reason why I asked this is because I was watching this like analog horror thing this morning, and it just got me thinking that that stuff's legit with some people. And so I'm curious to see if most people think that they know it's probably just in their head, like it's just a figment of imagination, or is there a real tangible thing where it's like you think you're seeing something that really is there to some capacity. I'm curious.
That's all you, bud. I got no answer for this
That's
one.
kind of a loaded question.
It is.
Um,
Well, and Ryan,
There-
if you could just put it input too. If you
there
want to.
there isn't really a yes and no answer.
Okay, I think about it this way.
Or yes or no.
Hold
Let
on.
me explain.
Okay.
Because you can have this bizarre paranormal experience with someone standing right next to you, and they might not see crap. A lot of it has to do with the okay, we're gonna get into theology a little bit. Y'all like theology?
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
didn't even know that was a word. I have no idea what that is.
It has to do with like spirituality and religion. The How do I put this? Not so much the pureness, but more like the condition of a person's soul, or if you're into more pagan styles, it would be like the condition of your aura or your energy you're giving off will directly reflect onto your experiences with the paranormal. Um, and so most people would be like, "Oh yeah, that stuff doesn't exist. I've never seen it. Anyone who says that's full of crap." Versus other people will have entirely different condition of soul based off of the energy they're absorbing, the energy they put out, or if you're more religious, like their connection to God or their connection to Satan. Because if you're going in either direction, there's always a connection there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so if you're seeing stuff like that, especially if it's sinister, it means one of two things: either a extreme connection to the negative, so you can start to see things, or an extreme connection to the positive, and the negative is trying to get your attention again.
Mm.
So it really depends on how open you are to it, because energies like that can't latch onto you unless you invite them to.
So in your mind, it's like your mental state mixed with what you believe in.
Yeah, we can go with that.
So
That kind of coincides with. So repeat what you said. Just a short base or a short way. The energy you give is the energy you receive.
The energy you give is the energy received, and you can only receive or give energy when the other person is inviting the energy or you're inviting the energy. It depends.
Okay. That also coincides with the people that you're around. The energy you give off to someone is the same energy you're going to receive. So if you're negative to someone, you're going to get negativity back. If you're positive to someone, you're going to get positivity back. Doesn't work like that all the time, but
No,
can.
as a general rule, I would say it applies most of the
Right.
time.
So it's the same thing. Like when we went to Taylor, do you remember when we went to that abandoned place out in, I think it was Benton City?
the fucking school
No, was
the
it a school? I thought it was like an abandoned
where
gas
you
station.
took the
slash
Ouija
inn.
board.
Oh, that one. You're talking about that one.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't talking about that, but that actually works better. Uh, do you remember when I told you to not be scared when we went in?
Yeah.
It was
And I
because
wasn't until you brought out the Ouija board.
oh, everybody freaked out the second I was like, "Hey, I brought something, guys."
We're gonna back up for a second. Do you remember when I said paranormal things will only be attracted to you if you invite them? Do you know what a Ouija board is, my brother? It is an invitation.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna get into this real quick. Okay.
do it.
boy.
So there was an abandoned high school about 45 minutes away from here. It's like, it's been there for a long time, and people would go in there and screw around in that abandoned high school. It was like a high school or middle school. And so they had it basically boarded up. They had a fence around it and security coming back and forth. We decided we were going to sneak into that bitch.
No. They didn't just have a fence. They had a security camera pointed directly at
But we
the
thought,
open fence that someone cut open.
but we figured out, or someone pointed out that the camera wasn't even plugged into anything, and we just assumed that it was a fake camera just to scare people off. And we ended up going in. Keep in mind, before we were going to leave, we all packed into my car, and Ryan goes, hold on, I need to make a stop real quick. So we stop at a house. He goes into this house, comes out with a backpack, okay? We didn't say anything of it.
I made it look like I forgot my backpack at my friend's house.
Yeah. And so then we go, and we start looking through this place. It is very creepy. Okay, I'm not going to lie to you. It is super creepy. It was in the middle of the night.
Think of 1880s school design, 3-deck floor, like perfect box and classrooms. You walk out of the classroom and it's just a open area hall, and there's a classroom in each corner and each side wall. There's a whole room.
And we had to come in through the basement. And when you go into the basement, it's where they cook their food. Okay, so we came in through the kitchen. There were a shit ton of dead animals in the furnace, and it looked like they were burnt alive. And we came across this one room, and it was like a pile about yay high of just maggots, literally this high. Smell horrible. I could have swore there was a dead body there. Anyways, we're starting to have our fill, right? We were already in there for a few hours. We're like, okay, I think we're ready to leave. And Ryan goes, no, wait, hold on, guys. I want to do something real quick. He unzips his backpack, and I literally just caught like the first 2 inches of the Ouija board before he pulled it out, and I was like, nope, see you later. And I just walked out, and we all walked out except for him and another buddy. And
Who was all there?
Died.
it was. I
It
don't
was
want to.
you?
No, I'm not going to
Me?
give any last names, but it was me.
No.
It was me, you, Tristan, Robbie, and
Another Tristan.
and the other Tristan, and I think
Oh,
that
right.
was it.
That sounds like that is the group.
Yeah.
Why was I not invited? I was friends with all these people too. Screw y'all.
And so me and the 2 Tristans, or did Tristan hang back with you? It was either.
The shorter Tristan, I think, would have hung back.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Yep.
And Robbie.
Did Robbie hang back?
Actually, no. Robbie was.
Or he came with me out.
Robbie was the other one who was like, "Fuck this, I'm out. I'm
Okay,
not dealing with it.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it."
Anyway, so me and Robbie go back to the car, and we're waiting for them to come out. And a few, maybe like 10 minutes goes by, and they're running out. And they run and get into the car, and they're like, we're leaving. And I don't even remember what happened. Do you even remember that part?
I don't remember running out at all. I remember pulling it out and everybody walking away ready to leave, and it was me and one of the Tristans, and we left it there, left the room, and then came back. And I don't think the board moved, but Tristan's like, the board fucking moved.
Oh, okay.
The board
Yeah.
moved, or something moved, and I was like, no, it didn't. So he's like, I'm not touching that thing, and he walked out. And so I grabbed it, put it back in my backpack, and I walked out with him. And I think he was the one that was running out, but I don't
might have been
remember.
him.
I know I was struggling to get out with the backpack
Yeah.
because we had to squeeze through like a tiny window,
Yeah.
and we had to step on a stove or something to be able to get through.
Yeah.
But
Anyways.
do you remember going to the attic and having that pigeon scare the living shit out of all 5 of us?
Yeah, I do. Anyways, Hiram, you got any more questions?
Where's the body, Ryan?
Well, the school got tore down, so I plead the fifth.
I think he's referring to you and your grandma going to.
Oh yeah, could you explain you and your grandma at the county prison?
Oh, that was I wasn't serious about that.
Oh, okay. Because I was
I
like,
don't know.
really?
You were.
Really?
That's what she told me to say.
I mean, you are missing some time in April, and your story's starting to not add up. First you
Yeah,
were
that's
at
missing-
first you were at the county with your grandma. Now you were kidding. So I mean, it's a little
Yeah.
sketchy.
Where were you
I
on
plead the
April
fifth.
5th at 8 p.m.? That's the question.
Ironically, I plead the fifth to April 5th.
Okay, I guess we'll come back to that. So in your life,
How many people have you killed in your life?
0 yet.
But
Are
you
you
just-
planning on it?
he just held up 3 fingers, but said 0.
I see.
No, I
I see.
didn't.
Okay,
If you were to hide a body, where would you put them? Hypothetically, of course.
Mount Rainier Forest.
Actually, that is a solid choice.
Anyways.
Zento Canyon, but Rainier Forest is really good.
No.
anyways, Ryan, you're getting close to 30. I just feel like
you
I need
old
to
fuck.
remind you of that.
Fuck off.
You're
No, I'm
getting
not.
you're getting old, just like the rest of us. And where you are now, could you name at least one huge accomplishment that you're proud of? That's a loaded question. So
That's hard. It's hard to answer because there's nothing recently that I'm proud of that I've accomplished
in your entire life.
in my entire life. I'd say getting that job at Les Schwab because it was such a rigorous job and so demanding that after I ended up getting laid off, I was very proud of myself being able to be there for several months and earn the respect of all my managers and all my coworkers, because prior to that I didn't really think that I could work a job that involved working with cars, or let alone a very high labor job. And after everything that happened, I was proud of myself. I was like, hey, I was like, I can do this. I learned a new skill.
You've learned what happens when you overinflate a tire.
I I do. Yeah, yeah. It was a lawnmower tire. It was a plastic lawnmower tire.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Blew up,
I was about to be
blew
like,
up in my face.
It blew up in your hand. You should talk
It-
about that.
yeah.
That was an interesting day for you.
I still have that on my phone, the
The
video of
video,
it.
yeah.
They're fucking terrifying. You can see how bloody my hand got.
Dude,
But-
you see him literally sitting there, and he's like, I think you were talking to someone while you were doing it, right? Or were you looking at what you were doing?
I was by myself. It's ironic because there was like 15 cameras in the bay where we pulled the cars into work,
Mhm.
and where I was is the one spot in the entire area that you cannot see perfectly.
Yeah.
So the one place that it happened was out of frame of all the cameras. All you see is it's just a calm day, and this one little rubber tire go flying and landing next to a car,
Yeah.
and then another camera. You just see me going.
Well, then he I'm pretty sure because it had volume, didn't it? Couldn't you hear
No.
something? Or well, maybe this
No,
is
that'd
just
be
you
funny.
explaining it. But he goes hospital now hospital.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
just
I ran-
flailing his hand to his
I was just flipping blood all
his
over your
coworkers.
coworkers.
Yeah.
I
Just
ran
to taste my essence.
I ran to my coworker and I was like, "Hey, we need to go to the hospital." He's like, and he turns around, he goes, "What?"
And you can see
stared at me.
everyone's
He didn't know what
super confused. Like, what the fuck?
But I ran across the Bay Area, or the garage, and then he was frozen. He didn't know what to do. So I was like, in my head, I was like, "Fuck it!" And I ran back to where I was, and within like the 15 seconds I went across the garage area, everyone had already huddled up where the tire had exploded. So when I came back through this tunnel where we keep all the tires, and when I came out, they're like, "What the fuck happened?" And I just lifted my hand up, and they were like, "Oh, we need to take him to the hospital right now."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, someone take me to the hospital, please." And the funny part is, the guy that was taking me to the hospital, I'm sitting there shaking and my hand's all bloody, bruised. I thought it was completely broken. And he's driving. He goes, dude, I can't deal with blood, man. And he's like, how are you not freaking out? And I was like, you know what? This is probably not the worst thing that has happened to me, especially in this year. And he goes, what do you mean by that? Don't worry about it. But yeah, a tire exploded on me and it damaged or yeah, it damaged like the nerve on top of my hand, so I couldn't bend my pinky or my ring finger on my left hand for like 2 months. It fucked it up.
Alright.
But and to answer your question, that's probably the proudest moment of my life because
Yeah.
2 months prior, I had also gotten my first car.
That's good. Hiram, you look like you were about to say something.
So let's backtrack a little bit. You said this probably isn't the worst thing that's happened to me, but then you said don't worry about it. Was that one of your victims? Did they hurt you before you had opportunity to dispose of them entirely?
This victim has hurt me a lot, and I feel like
So
I'm
that
giving an
victim.
interview to a newscast.
So there was a victim.
Who was
Yes,
the-
he's fine now. He's okay. He's recovered. We've settled our differences, our issues. We
By
had a lot
taking
of
him out of the
victory.
picture, right?
Metaphorically,
Where'd
yes.
you hide the body?
Well,
Where's
there's no
the
body
damage?
to hide. I did. Where'd you sloink him? Where'd you do it at?
You sloink him.
hey,
Listen
hey,
here,
hey,
schloink.
we're
I'm
only.
gonna schloink you right up your schloink. If you don't schloink, you tell me where he's schloinked.
Hey, listen, this is only schloinking with friends, okay? We don't schloink enemies. Um,
Sounds
It's
like
all
you're
good, it's
saying
just
we don't
business.
shoot enemies. We only shoot our friends.
yeah, we only shoot our friends. Yeah, exactly.
Tag.
So,
Oh, he shot me. Oh, that means he likes you.
so I guess this is more of a question.
That's how
for
I show
me,
affection.
Is
Well,
when
tell me
we-
the question. I'll ask it to you.
What is your favorite episode of Creative Thinkers? When we were doing
Hey, so Ryan and Taylor, I have this question for
yeah,
you.
yeah, man.
I'm a big fan of Creative Thinkers. God rest its soul.
Oh yeah.
Can you just tell me what your favorite episode of Creative Thinker was? I'm such a big fan of you two and that podcast. I would really love to know.
Thank you so much for being a part of the show today. I appreciate
you
it.
lying son of a bitch. You just heard of
Actually-
Creative Thinkers just today. Gaslight us
I-
like that.
Hey, I have a great idea. Get hit by a bus. No, seriously though, I do. I am a fan of Creative
Get hit by a
Thinkers.
bus.
Seriously, yeah, please eat shit and die and get hit by a bus.
Anyways, Ryan, you can go first.
Is this question for me and Hyra?
Both of you.
Yeah, sure, both of us.
What were your guys'
All
favorite
three, fuck it,
moments?
you know what? All three of us.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Personally, my favorite moment was probably one of the first episodes, specifically the moment when we were talking about our trip to Long Beach, and you were like, "Are you sure that edible didn't kick in?" And I was like, "Oh,
yeah.
it did."
I remember that. That was like episode
damn.
3, I think.
Oh damn.
That was 4. That was the first one. That was the first episode that had decent audio quality because we had audio quality issues
Yeah.
for like 4 months.
And for anyone
But-
who's watching this, present or future, Creative Thinkers was a podcast that Ryan and I did for over a year, I think.
You did it for a good chunk of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Um,
was just over a year, I believe.
Yeah, and life happened. We had to shut it down, and forgot to pay the bill, and we lost all the episodes. So, life, such as life. We schloinked it real good.
Yeah. Literally, it's gone. We
Yeah.
can't get it back. I don't think we have any episodes saved.
Yeah,
Aren't they on a? No, never mind.
But my favorite episode overall is probably the doors, and more doors.
I was
Just because
that's
That
what
was
I
a fun
gonna
one.
talk about. Yeah.
for the fact that you were able to make a whole paragraph and you were like, I got the perfect idea for a podcast episode. And I was like, sweet, I don't have to worry about it this week. And then I come in, I was like, so what's the episode idea? And he goes, you'll find out.
I
And
said
when we
nothing.
start, he didn't tell me shit. And when we finally got started, he starts talking about all these different doors, but he's not saying doors. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? What
I
is this? Are you
gave him
talking
a
about gay?
detailed description of every different kind of door we could make. I even started talking about the different kind of wood you could use for a door.
I was impressed. I applauded him afterwards. I'm like, I'm very impressed that you went how much detail you went into because I learned something. I didn't know there was that many doors. I was like, wow, this is amazing.
I explained the detailed intricacies of a door handle and a doorknob. We found a really hilarious tutorial on how to open a door.
Oh my god.
See, but that wasn't even the best part. Is when we looked at the comments. It was so great. Like there were comments of so there was this guy and he typed in he's just like the cops have been trying to get me out of my house for days now and I just genuinely don't know how to open my door. And he's just like I was just considering jumping out my window until this video. And he's like I found this video on how to open a door and I was saved. It was
Wasn't
so
one of the
funny.
comments is like I've been locked in my room for 23 years and I've never been able to get out until now. Thank you for saving my life.
They said that they just smash through their window every day. Like they just go through their window.
Window costs are getting expensive these days, man.
Yeah. Anyways, Hiram,
You know what I mean?
what's your
It's a
favorite?
return on investment and shit.
Yeah.
Sorry?
What's your favorite episode?
My favorite, I didn't have a favorite episode, but I had a favorite thing in relation to the podcast.
Okay.
My favorite thing to do was to call Taylor after I'd listened to an episode because I've actually never been on an episode.
Yeah.
I think we've only ever had 2 guests on Creative
It
Thinkers.
was like Soren
And that
and
was-
who else?
Well, we had a
No,
few
three-
because we did the Halloween
4.
special. We had a chunk of people.
We had my brother come on, we had Soren come on, we had
right.
my buddy
Oh my
Braxton
god,
come
we
on.
did have Stefan on. I forgot
Yeah.
about that.
Mhm.
But
That
I
was a
loved,
good
I
episode.
loved calling Taylor after I listened to an episode, and I was raised by grammar Nazis. And
Yeah.
telling him he said this sentence wrong or this word wrong or used a word incorrectly, and I just got a kick out of that because I like being mean to Taylor.
I think I specifically remember me going, you could just compliment it and just be done. You could just say you enjoyed it. Yeah.
That was part of the experience for me. Is hey, I have direct influence on how this podcast goes. Let me just, you know.
Well,
Actual
I
footage
hope
of me.
I hope to
Oh, and Halloween
reattain
special was. If I had to pick a favorite episode, I like the Halloween special a lot.
the Halloween special. That was really fun.
Which one? Because we technically had 2.
The
We had-
I think there was a two. It was a two-parter, wasn't it?
Yeah,
the
because
one
it was
where you read John's story was a good one. I enjoyed that immensely.
that must have been you.
Yeah,
You must have read that.
maybe I don't remember, but
Yeah.
but yeah, we hope to regain that energy, that creative. I think I've said it to Hiram once. We need to grasp that creative thinker's energy.
Mhm.
And I just said you mean autism?
Yes, that's
And-
exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, I
That's
got
all
a
I
shipment of
can
that coming in the next few days. You want me to give you some?
I have so much under my bed, dude. I have a surplus.
I was gonna ask,
I'm set, bro.
hey, Ryan,
Taylor needs some.
what flavor of autism do you have?
Flavor of autism.
Yeah.
I got the high protein flavor.
Can you describe that? What does the high protein flavor do for you?
The high protein flavor. Well, what it does for me is it. Fuck. How do I put it?
Put the
It takes-
book away immediately.
What book was it?
Show him that.
I'll show you. It is Shakespearean love sonnets.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Is it just love? Is it poems or?
Yeah, it's all
Words?
just poems, yeah.
No,
And
it's
then-
proof that
let me-
that
let me
Hiram
continue.
has autism.
Oh, we can get into my brand of autism. I can go on for like an hour.
Do it.
We should do an episode just on Hiram's autism.
No, notice how when he said autism, his voice cracked. Even his autism was like, no.
Oh
I
wait,
also
hold on.
have,
Hold on.
The complete works of William Shakespeare.
So before we were getting ready for this episode, I asked Hiram what we should do for the next episode. And he literally said he wanted to talk about the architecture in Europe. And he wanted to go into detail on that. And
That would
I
be
was
kinda
like,
cool.
Nice. Thank you. The other autist agrees.
autist?
Yeah.
You combined autism and architect in the same word.
Oh, I was thinking
Yeah, the
artist. An autistic artist.
That includes every artist ever.
Well,
That's all of them.
when I reboot the Doors, and More Doors, I'll make sure to talk about that kind of architecture.
Church, and more churches.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
So here's the difference between a Mormon church and a Christian church and a Catholic church.
One's got that
Those are
pointy
three
roof,
branches
one's
of
got the round
Christianity,
roof.
but okay.
Okay.
Okay, Harm, you
answer
got
your-
more questions?
Yeah. Do you have a favorite Shakespeare play?
I don't read books. Sorry, I'm illiterate.
That's
Have you like gone to see one?
normal people don't go to see plays.
You know, there's way too big of a market for plays for that to be true.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
Do you like Lion King or Romeo and Juliet or West Side Story more?
Never seen West Side Story.
Okay.
I saw Romeo and Juliet when it came out in theaters when I was like 10 or 11. I thought it was a good movie.
That's a
But
good one.
I have to pick The Lion King. I grew up watching
yeah.
The
So
Lion King.
your favorite Shakespeare play is Hamlet.
Ha-
Lion King's based off Hamlet.
What? I couldn't
No, it's
understand Shakespeare.
Yes, it is. Google it.
To be honest with you, I
I'm gonna
couldn't
Google it after
understand
this.
it.
Do it.
The
Just
words
Google
were
what
too
Shakespeare play is.
weird.
You know what's the weirdest part about Shakespeare? One was that everything was said in iambic pentameter, which is a rhythm of saying words. It's really difficult to do. Two, the way he talks is
You can back up from
modern
the mic
English.
a little bit.
Sorry,
There you go.
I got excited. We're
You-
talking about things I'm into. The way Shakespeare talks is considered modern English, and even like the King James Bible is technically modern English.
Dude, Ryan is so pale that when he turns on his monitor,
He-
it's just like shining so bright.
I can confirm he is right. Lion King is heavily not based, but heavily inspired by Hamlet.
Mm-hmm.
The more you learn something new every day. That's actually very interesting.
Well, there's a
My
lot
brand of
there's,
autism.
there's a lot of things based off Shakespeare.
Oh yeah, Romeo and Juliet's an obvious one.
But yeah, yeah.
Even have you seen Warm Bodies?
Yes. I hate it though, but yeah.
That is Romeo and Juliet. The characters' names are R and Julie.
Yeah.
It's straight up Romeo and Juliet.
Um
I'm blowing Ryan's mind right now.
It's like
my
that scene
God.
from The Incredibles where
Yeah.
Mr. Incredible's going through the computer and he's like seeing.
Yeah, he sees all the different things and he's like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's my mind was blown because I had just read Romeo and Juliet, or it was actually for school.
Mhm.
We read it in a class, and then when we finished it, I went and watched that movie just for funsies, and I was like,
It was Mr. Hamilton, wasn't it?
I didn't have Hamilton, but yeah,
But he's the theater guy.
yeah,
Who was the old dude that worked in the
Maher.
200 build? Maher? You know who I'm talking about already, huh?
dude, you
All
see, you
the
said who was
all
the
the
old
alle-
dude? I'm like, it's Maher.
Maher
That's who I'm talking about.
is the
all the
worst.
allegations.
Is the worst teacher ever.
Dude, I'm
Yeah.
surprised that dude didn't get sued or in jail somehow.
Or do you mean Mr. Price? We're name dropping all these people. There was a lot of really pervy old guys at our high school.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, sadly.
Anyways, in this celebration of getting through life one day at a time, I'm curious to ask you, Ryan, where you are today and everything you've dealt with up until now. Was it all worth it? Was it worth it to be where you are now?
I'm a firm believer of the things that you go through in life you're meant to go through, whether it's hardship or good ship, if that makes sense.
Soft ship, hardship, and
Soft
soft
ship,
ship.
hardship.
Hard Shloink.
I shit. I don't.
Shit.
I think everything that I've gone through was worth it.
Yeah.
You know, at the time when you go through those things, it's not because it fucking sucks, but through every hardship that you experience, there's something to learn from it. And I've tried my best to learn from either if it's my mistakes or other people's mistakes, or if it's just events that are happening around me that I have no control over. Um, I'd say it was worth it, and I wouldn't take some of the things I wish I didn't do and I wish I didn't experience, but I wouldn't want to go back and take it away because it is it is what has made me the person that I am today. And I think a lot of people wish they could go back and change things, which I think is a normal human thing to do. But by doing that, or trying to take, wishing you could go back and take things away or pretend that things don't happen, you're also destroying the lesson that you could learn from those situations. So when people say, "Oh, I wish I could forget," or "I wish I didn't do this," and it's like, no, you don't want to forget because there's always a lesson to learn from any situation that you're in or any situation that you're a part of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are you into stoicism?
The fuck is stoicism?
Never mind then. Moving on.
Okay, Hiram, you've just set yourself up for the stage. Do you think where you are today and where you're at now, was it all worth it?
Oh, yes, it is worth it. I did not say that.
Okay, good.
Continue.
If I had a camera with me at all times and recorded half the shit I've been through, it would be because I'd be super rich. Um, no, sorry.
They wouldn't.
I'll give you
They
a
wouldn't be
serious
able to show
answer.
it in theaters.
A lot of it wouldn't be able to be shown. Um, I'm going to say yes because at the end of every day, you're a little bit different than you were when you woke up, but you're still you. And everything that happens goes into culminating who you are. And so if I said I wished I had different experiences, then I wouldn't even be who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And why would I want to be anyone else other than who I am? Because I'm fucking awesome.
That's true.
So I'm going to say yes.
That is an unarguable statement. To quote the greatest doctor we've ever had, Matt Smith, he did say, "Through life, you will have different faces. So long as you remember the face that came before, you will always be the best version of yourself." That quote was not fully correct, but I got the gist of the point. Anyways. Thank you so much, Ryan, for coming on to the show. The Shloink Show, the greatest show ever to exist, and it will dethrone Creative Thinker, the small underdog that couldn't quite make it across the finish line.
I think at this point it's already dethroned creative thinkers.
Yeah, probably, for the time being.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Anyways, with all of that being said, Hiram, do you have a closing statement to say?
I do, actually.
Okay.
Ladies, gentlemen, they, thems, get
Ladies and
hit
gentlemen of the
by a bus. Thank you.
With all of that being said, I hope everyone enjoyed watching, and I hope you guys tune back in next week. Please go over to the YouTube channel, Shloink Studios. Please go over to Hiram for Infinitus and all of the digital marketing needs.
Infinitus Digital Consulting. Thank
Yep,
you.
that. And yeah. Anyways, come on back. Have a good old time. Goodbye, everybody.
Hit by a bus.